I think Tree is about showing how even in a place of perfect stasis where everything is always the same, that there is always an unplanned disruption in life, and that the balance of like the little worlds we live in are always changing, no matter how they seem to be on the outside. I believe that the author's intent was to show how when we look on the outside, something is always, we have our first opinion about it, and it's always, we take it for face value, but when you look into it, and when a certain little distraction happens, that we see people in a different light than we did before.
Well, Kumar, the author's intent was to, I think the main thing in the poem that expresses author's intent is when the one apple fell. And I think that's an allusion to the Bible as literature, and the 7 apples on the tree were the angels, and the one apple falling was Lucifer. And I think his intent was to show that story in a different setting and give the reader the similar emotional response.
Thank you.
I thought the author's intention was to show a change in fortune, from a good fortune to a bad fortune, and I thought that was showed by the line in the poem where it says, on this tree there were 7 apples, and 7 is like an archetype for something lucky, because 7 is usually found to be a lucky number. And then in the next sentence, line 3, it says that one fell, and fell is capitalized, death, and that was significant because after one of the 7 apples fell, then there were 6 left, and that's a number for the devil, and often found to be bad fortune.
So the falling could symbolize something important.
Okay.
So by the author saying that an apple fell could symbolize like things getting older, like more mature, because if an apple, when it falls, that means that it's like ripe or it's ready to be eaten.
I think that this poem uses a lot of metaphors. I think that the tree represents maybe life, and then an apple represents a part of life that's slowly slipping because, well, humanity is going to see it soon.
The author's intent of the poem, I thought it represented a family and possibly a loss of a family member.
The apple just fell.
What's significant about the apple falling?
The way
it just fell.
It just fell.
So why did the author choose to have the apple just fall?
Because it shows the unpredictability of life.
All right.
The word green, so that's like symbolic of life, or it could be like disease, because we think of like germs as like big green things that are like meh, 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 right? So there's a diseased tree in the yard, a big yard. So big is kind of stressed there. So it's obviously talking about a big disease, right? Am I right?
I think it's really boring, bland. They don't use any imagery, meaning, plot. Yeah, it doesn't have that.
So tell me about this poem.
This poem is some bullshit. Sometimes in English class we're taught to analyze some word or phrase or something that the author said in a work of literature to mean something other than what the actual word means. But sometimes, as we showed in this project, the meaning of a word is purely what the word actually means and just nothing more. So that's it.
And sometimes you're just wrong. We made up this poem in 2 minutes.